Is this the king of esports? This is the Infinix GT50 Pro. Gaming phones have always been about compromise. You either choose the latest and greatest flagship and you spend $1,200, or you get like a gaming looking phone, but you have to live with the consequences. Well, now you can actually have the best of both worlds. You have here a $350, $450 gaming phone that actually delivers performance with great style. This is the Infinix GT50 Pro. It's the predecessor to the GT30 Pro, and it's awesome. Today, finally, the embargo lifts, and I can show you this phone. I can show you that I've been using it, and I've packaged it back into its box so I can actually give you the unboxing experience because it's pretty cool. So let's start and let's unbox this phone. In front of me over here, you see the box. This is the cooling edition with the MagCharge cooler. This is the GT50 Pro, 512 gigabytes with 24 gigabytes of RAM. It's a really cool upward opening box, and here you have the phone, and here you have the MagCharge Cooler 2.0 and liquid flow hyper performance. It has Dolby Atmos, it has an N1 networking chip, Corning Gorilla Glass. What else do you need? This is the Hydro Flow Liquid Cooling Ultimate Efficiency Edition. It has a really awesome style. This is the phone, it's the box of the phone, and here you have the charger itself. The cooling is power. Now, we close this box nicely, we put it away, and first we open this charger. Here you have the charger itself. This is kind of like a MagCharge. It magnetically attaches to the phone and has an RGB light in there. Really, really cool system. There you go. As you can see, Infinix, this is a very, very awesome charger. It charges your phone, it cools your phone at the same time. And very unique to this phone, it has a charge bypass, so you can charge directly the motherboard so it doesn't wear out your battery or doesn't overheat your battery, which can be very, very useful. So this is the charger. I'll put this over here for a moment and let's open the phone. In the phone, or on the box of the phone, you can see it comes off like this. Liquid flow, hyper performance. We take out the paperwork. We have the GT50 Pro over here. Very nice presentation, I have to say. Oh, we'll show that to you in a moment. And we get a charger. We get a 45-watt charger, Infinix charger. And we have the cables over here, which is a USB-A to USB-C. There you go. In this little packet over here, if I open it, we have the SIM ejector tool. And we also get a really cool case. A transparent case that has this magnetic ring around it. It's gonna look awesome on the phone, and we also get this magnetic ring that we can attach to the phone or other cases if we want it, so we can always place this magnetic charger on the phone no matter what. And here we have the phone. I take it out, and there you go. It's beautiful. Now you can see over here, this is the liquid cooling part of the phone. This is actually liquid inside that cools the motherboard, that cools the whole phone, gives the whole thing a very, very unique vibe. It's a true gaming phone. Over here you have some LED lights that light up when you charge the phone. And here on the side, you have these trigger buttons. It's actually not buttons, it's like pressure sensitive areas that when you're gaming, you can actually use them as triggers, or when you're not gaming, you can use them as special OS tools or OS quick options. So if you want to open the camera, you want to start to zoom, they have pressure sensitivity and swipe sensitivity. Really, really cool. Now you can see the camera system over here, and this is the red color of the phone, which I think is gorgeous. Infinix is calling this the hypercar aesthetic, and for once, the marketing matches the vibe. It feels so much more premium than the GT30 Pro, and we have this sleek Kevlar texture, aerodynamic lines, but the star of the show is the pipeline window. This is basically a small little window over here where you can check out the micro pump, and when it kicks in, You can actually see the liquid coolant moving through the channels. It's not just a static LED, it looks like a living mechanical component. And the question is, does it actually improve the performance? And we'll get to that in a moment. In terms of cool factor, I definitely say this is a 10 out of 10. The first phone I've used that actually I want to keep face down so I can always see the back, I can always see the liquid moving, I can always see the things happening over there. Let's talk a little bit about these GT triggers because that's what they're called. Most phones in this price bracket give you a basic haptic areas. This, the industry first dual pressure and sliding switch solution. So it supports 10 levels of pressure and up to 8 mapping points. You can lightly tap to aim, press harder to fire, or use the sliding switch for a macro action. The speed of this is under 20 milliseconds. So it's going to be very responsive, very trigger friendly, if you get what I'm saying. And it's a really cool experience. As for the everyday users, you can actually map this for any system shortcut. So if you want to open the camera, you can open the camera. If you want to zoom within the camera, you can do that too. So it's actually a multi-function buttons on the phone. You get 2 additional buttons with the power button and the volume rockers. On this side, you have nothing. On the bottom, you have the USB, you have the speaker, and you have the SIM card slot. And on the top, you have a small IR blaster, a little something over here where you can actually put a lanyard or something. And you have Dolby Atmos written over here on the top, which is really cool. The phone itself is giving off very unique vibes. You have this custom skin on it, which I think actually adds to the gaming performance of the phone. You have a very gaming vibe on this device, and it's a beautiful little screen. It's very comfortable to hold in your hand, and over my week of usage, I enjoyed it very much, and it never really got warm. Because of the technology that's included in this phone, you can play for hours and hours and hours, and you're not gonna have any problems. The chip inside is the MediaTek Dimensity 8400 Ultimate. This chip debuts the MFRC MediaTek frame rate converter, which uses the GPU frame interpolation to get us to a native 144 FPS on titles like PUBG or MLBB. Infinix uses a 6437 cube millimeter hydro flow diaphragm. It's massive, and in mine testing after an hour of, for example, Genshin Impact, on high settings, the frame rate stayed rock solid and the phone stayed cool. Now, when I put this case on here, as you can see, this is how it looks with the case, and then you can add the charging cooler over here, and let's turn on and let's see the cooling liquid in action. The moment I plug this phone in, as you can see, lights start appearing. These LED lights say the charge of the phone that is charging, and you can see the liquid starts flowing and it looks really cool. This is actually cooling the internals inside due to this liquid and keeping your phone always ready to game. If we have the case on and we decide to use the Infinix Mac charger, then there's a USB over here. You plug that in there, you hop it onto the phone, and as you can see, it starts lighting up in RGB style. You have the liquid flowing, you have the LEDs lighting up on the back of the phone, and the whole thing is really cool. And this little baby, this little puppy can actually cool down your phone super much. If I put my finger over here on this, you can actually see the condensation freezing on there very fast. It gets super cold. That is cooling the phone on the back. It actually has bypass, so you can charge while you're gaming. The motherboard itself, it's not gonna destroy your battery. It's just a whole experience that is rock solid. The whole software experience has been overhauled as well. You can tap into esports mode. So if you have this setting over here, you can actually do the ultra frame rate. You can say esports grade control. You can turn on the liquid cooling, the GT triggers, and you can choose between the games that are supported over here, and you can fully utilize the system. As you can see, when we are playing over here, you have the GT triggers, and this case has the cutout for the triggers themselves. I'm gonna go, okay, select, and let's start to play. It's very rapid, it's 144 FPS, and the triggers are super sensitive. You can actually maximize your gameplay over here super much. Now, even though you have the best gadgets in your hand, it might not make you the best gamer of all time, but it sure gives you the edge. If you're a serious mobile gamer in 2026 and you don't want to spend over $1,000 for a proper gaming phone, and you want the triggers, you want the special cooling and the really cool design, then this is the phone to beat. This is the phone that I can recommend for gamers on a budget who actually want to enjoy what they're doing and have the most complete package on the market. I really have to thank Infinix for them sending this over and showing me a first look of this phone. This video is by all means not sponsored at all. These are all my opinions. They just handed me the device and said, say whatever you want. I am really, really amazed. This phone, in terms of normal everyday usage, is running the XOS and Android 16. And a very cool thing inside is that they have developed their own chip, the N1 chip, which can actually give you 60% better signal quality overall. The rear cameras are 50 megapixels and 8 megapixels. The front-facing camera is 13 megapixels. The camera quality is pretty good. Low light conditions can get a little bit hazy, but if you have good lighting out there, there should be no issues with your picture quality. But let's face it, this is not for those people who want to do the best of the best pictures in the market. This is for serious gamers who are sadly on a budget. But with this phone, you can actually spend less money on your phone and more money on your games. In terms of normal things, normal device usage, you have an under-screen fingerprint sensor, which is quite good. You have quite good cameras. The device is running XOS 16.1. This has 512 gigabytes of storage. The CPU is a Dimensity 8400 Ultimate. You have 23 gigabytes of RAM. The rear camera is a 50 megapixel OIS, and the front camera is a 13 megapixels. Overall, it's a very good phone. The camera quality, I'd say it's pretty rock solid. The screen quality is awesome, and this whole phone feels great in the hand. I really want to know what you guys think. If you see it anywhere, I highly recommend you go and try it out. Play around with it. If you see it in a shop, take it out for a spin. And I mean, for $350 to $450, depending on your market, it's a really cool phone, and it's a strong recommend from my side.